All right, welcome. It's been a long time since we talked to you here on, I guess it's listed as the Dale Dudley Show. I hate that name. I just would like to call it Dudley.
Dudley.
At some point.
Dudley.
Yeah, Mike MacRae, of course, who co-hosts with me most of the time, except when I did that one with my son.
Hey, Dale.
Hey, how are you?
Good. It's good to be here.
Yeah? You're all relaxed?
I am relaxed.
Yeah, I'm all wired up.
Yeah, well, I'll try to counter your energy.
I didn't get a cigarette outside. So.
Well, I've had a staycation, so.
Actually, I wished I'd smoked a little dope before I come in here. Do you call it dope anymore?
Yeah, we know what you mean when you say dope.
Yeah.
We're hep cats.
Yeah, I'm a weed man. I get the
What about reefer?
I got the infamous handshake the other day. Doing it in the middle of business, doing business with somebody. They go, "Hey, man, love you, love the show, and thanks for." Yeah, there's a couple of buds of flower, as they call it now. The flower. I'm into the oil, which is a felony in Texas. So
okay,
there you go.
I've only had the gummies, and those are legal, right?
No,
the ones I have are. There's certain kinds. I got them for free at the Moon Tower Comedy Festival in like the goodie bag.
No, those aren't free. I mean, those are. It must be that other thing that's not THC.
It might be
a different thing, so it makes you feel all weird.
Well, it's weed gummies.
They're not. You can't give away weed gummies in Texas.
I'm pretty sure it's still illegal.
Well, maybe they did an illegal thing.
Maybe they did. Did you play Moon Tower?
Yeah, this last time. I mean, I did like 2 shows, but
we should introduce the third voice here.
Yeah,
and that is my dear friend for a very long time now. I'll say 20-something years for sure. Mr. Matt Sadler. How are you?
Thank you. I'm adorable. Thanks for asking.
Yeah. The echo's not as bad as it was in the last room, but I was able to clean that sucker up, that program.
Yeah, this isn't echoey. It doesn't sound echoey.
It's pretty echoey, but that's
it's not as bad as last time.
Adobe Audition, pretty amazing now.
Nice.
You can do anything you want, man. And even now with Premiere, they've added some AI to Premiere. I entered in the other day. I want to see motocross riders jumping over a sand dune with flowers coming out of the exhaust. And I sat there and I watched it, and it's pulsing. It's an add-on kind of thing. And I'm pulsing, and all of a sudden it shows one picture that's all screwy, another one that's a little off. And then on the fourth picture, it was fucking motocross guys going across a sand dune with flowers coming out of their exhaust.
That's just what your brain came up with,
huh? For girls.
You just
for some reason,
see that?
Yeah, for some reason. I don't know.
Okay.
I had motocross and farts on my mind, I guess. So, how have you been, Matty Sadler?
I've been good. I'm just wondering about motocross and farts. Who thinks of that? That's what your brain is doing.
Yeah, that was exactly what I was.
Well, God bless the internet for giving that to you.
I was thinking about
for free.
I called you up.
Yes,
because no one else would come. So
that's not true.
No, it's not true.
Also, what a great thing to say to a guest,
no.
Right out of the gate.
You were at the bottom of the barrel, literally.
I'm still Dale. I mean, I'm still me.
I miss you.
I know I've changed a lot, but I'm still.
I don't know that you have. I haven't seen you in so long. I've missed you terribly.
Poor Sadler had to hear the whole story, everything outside.
I heard it in the kitchen.
And Mike's just probably in here shaking your head.
I just heard Sadler, my God.
Yes. Yes.
My God, I'm so sorry.
Yes.
My God.
That was my reaction. That was genuine.
Okay,
my God.
I got
Oh, yeah, no, it was.
First question out of the box is,
what's up?
Is a very personal question.
Please hit me.
How the hell can you afford Steiner? You inherited some money.
No, I didn't.
No?
No.
Are you in the divorced dad's apartments?
No, I've got a 5-bedroom house.
Okay, hold that moment. There's an apartment complex as you leave Steiner. That's where all the dads go when the separation happens. And
That's
stuff.
true. No,
man.
I'm on the water. I'm past Steiner. I'm on the water.
All right.
We call it Shiner Ranch.
Okay. You're a comic.
Yeah.
Are you getting paid that much on the cruise lines?
I'm doing okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about doing the cruise lines?
I can't. I mean, how long do you have to be gone at a time?
A week.
Yeah.
I mean, you set your own schedule. So
At
I have
a
an
certain
agent,
point.
and he's like, "What do you want to work?" And I try not to be out more than 2 weeks at a time because it's really hard on the marriage. But I'm about okay. Now
you don't know it's hard on a marriage. Let me tell you.
I know. But the wife's about, I'm gonna sound like a dick. My wife's about to go to France for 6 weeks to paint, and I gotta stay home for the entirety of it to take care of the dogs. But yeah,
wait a minute. All right. I'm really not trying to pry, but I am prying here for a second.
Okay.
I mean, a lot of my friends.
I'm not trying to sound like a dick here.
No, you're not.
You saw my shitty car.
I lived in Steiner, and people treated me. I got caught shit about
I know.
it. In the
I know. I was
in,
part of that shit.
Yeah, I lived in the UT Club for a while.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's north of me.
Every house that I have sold, I should have stayed in.
Yeah.
Because they doubled and sometimes tripled.
Mine's tripled.
Well, the first one on Small Drive, which that's probably one of the reasons I got fired. I told that story 1,010 times, but I built it for $206,000, and the last sale I think was 1.1 million, and I think it'd be about 1.5. We're talking 1,900 square feet.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then we moved to this freaking mansion right as the crunch hit in 2007. And I had 2 mortgages on it. And we had a snarky, weird kind of, I don't want to say sleazy, mortgage guy who said, you could afford this. All you need to make is $80,000 a year. Anybody could do that. And we got in there, and the bills for propane, our last gas bill was $400 or $500. And the water, it was all run. These 2 guys built these houses all off of ski shores. And they both created a water company, and the water was fucking terrible. I mean, It was horrible.
Right.
And then the other one had the propane going. And it was crazy. And that house.
We have both those things. Yeah.
That house was huge, and it should have stayed. So we're staying. We're doing well up in Leander.
Sure. I'll die in the house I live in.
It's all got back.
I'm not selling my house.
Well, I don't want to pry anymore, but Jesus, 5 bedrooms. Where are you in? Are you in Steiner proper?
No, I'm toward the water. I'm on Lake Austin.
Okay. So
It's
you're
in
those
Shiner
houses.
Ranch.
Yeah.
You're the houses past the main.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, don't say it like that.
All right.
That was the most dismissive fucking
down there.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. All right. I know what you're talking about.
But still,
Oh, you're in East Steiner Ranch.
Over there where
It's like East St. Louis. It's not even the same state.
I'm pre-Jefferson's. What?
That's where people keep their boats.
Yes,
in
exactly.
the front yard.
That's exactly where I live.
In the front yard.
Yeah. I'm parking property. Yeah.
Now, are y'all noticing the echo? I got to stop talking about the sound when I'm doing these
Do what
things.
you
People
want.
don't give a shit, because after they listen in post, they don't.
It
sounds
sounds
fine.
good to me.
Have you ever listened to them after we've done?
No, because I was there. I know what went down.
Oh, you are having a little drink there.
Yeah, I did. I brought my own.
You brought a box of Cabernet.
Yeah.
Wow. You need to go to Steiner and hang out with
No kidding.
Sadler.
You would fit right
there's a lot
in.
of box wine up in Steiner. I'm there.
I own a
man.
golf cart. That's where
Okay. All right. So who died?
nobody died, dude. I sold my house in North Austin
And made some money.
for 3 times what it cost.
Okay.
And I made the down payment, and
Show me on
everything's
your
going
hands
well.
how much you sold it for.
What?
Show me on your hands how much you sold it for. M?
Yeah. No, not M.
Oh. T. Thousands.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Welcome to Real Estate Talk with Dale Dudley.
Hey, listen. I'm glad you brought that up, because I need to mention a couple things before we go further.
Okay.
First of all, subscribe
Matt, you got turned into a commercial.
Subscribe to the podcast.
It's an infomercial podcast.
This isn't a commercial. Subscribe to the podcast, because that'll tell you when a new one's up. And I know I promised the people at Spotify that I'd do them bi-weekly. Not really. The programs at Spotify, it has a thing, pull down menu. How often is your podcast going up? And I did bi-weekly. And it's not.
Did you sell this podcast to Spotify for $250 million like Joe Rogan?
But listen, dude, you and I have made about $30
Fucking A.
just from
Cash
talking.
on the barrel.
$30.
I'm going to
American.
Taco Cabana.
Also subscribe on YouTube. Now, not all of these we do video. We're doing video today, but it's going to be a single camera shot with a fisheye lens, so I don't know if it'll even be up. But subscribe on YouTube, because we will be doing more of that. And please tell your friends that we're out here trying to get it done. I think it's really stupid that I'm not on the air in Austin.
I agree.
Dick,
It is stupid.
Jason Dick was kind enough to do my podcast, and we found out
That was fun.
we got the same promise from the same dude, and then the dude just ghosted everybody. Just didn't call anybody back, like Deb and Jason and Deb and me, and because right out of the gate of being fired, it was like, oh, we love you. Channel 7 met with me, talked to me about a show in the future, and then We were supposed to do a little street scene. You know, remember Jim on the porch? What was that guy?
Yes,
name?
I do.
Jim Swift.
Yes.
Yeah, I was going to be that kind of guy for their morning show.
That's a great idea.
And I tried to set up an interview with Danny from Steamboat, who used to run Steamboat. Do you remember Danny at all?
I do.
Danny Crooks?
Yeah.
And evidently Danny has still really fucking hates everything about what went down and being down there and everything.
I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, and somehow we got our wires crossed, and he showed up down there, and we weren't going to shoot that day because of some reason, and so the Channel 7 backed off. I mean, it is what it is. But then I got Hot Pie Media with my friend John Payton. They called me in, and I came in for 3 or 4, 5 meetings, and I told you on one of the podcasts, the dinner where I'd shit all over my pants.
Oh,
wait, literally?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a long story.
Okay. You've already covered it.
I've covered it before.
Yeah, can't have this twice in the same podcast.
No, you really
Can't have this twice.
I'm the police of this podcast.
Yeah,
They literally
then it'd be a 2-shit podcast.
Yeah.
What?
They literally offered me the operations manager job.
Okay.
And I thought, cool,
Sure.
to do these podcasts. And I didn't hear back from them. And finally, John's daughter emailed me and said, yeah, the company they pulled the plug on the entire company. It's like everything I've
King
done.
Midas in reverse.
And now it's like there's no real love out there for anything. And I find myself, I just miss being on the air now. I don't want to get into all the details again and what's going on and who and that and
Right.
and everything. But it's just still very odd that I'm not broadcasting.
Can I ask you a question, though? Do you have anything that fulfills that hole? You know what I'm saying?
This, baby.
Okay.
We're in the all right room. That's literally the name of this room at
But I mean,
at Realty Austin North. Look up behind you.
Oh.
Look at that. You're right under
this
the
is your first time seeing that?
Yeah, I noticed when I came in.
Yeah.
I came in and sat right down here. I never saw that wall. You have had the benefit of that advantage point the whole time.
And I'm enjoying it for everything.
And I don't
worth.
get to see it.
Well, I think it's a wealth thing.
It had to be pointed out to you.
We want the guy with
I didn't know it was there.
5-bedroom house in Steiner to be able to see the beauty of
Yeah,
our
I'm
You
not-
gotta
I
look
don't
around once in a
qualify for
while,
that.
man. Otherwise, you miss the 5-bedroom house.
I never got on the ships, the boats.
No, but it's just been kind of
It's
now.
what you'd kill on the boats.
Now everything's calmed down. I'll tell you this though: all of a sudden, man, I sat for I got paid for 4 months, and then I set the rest. Nothing happening, nothing going on, and then just recently, the real estate thing is just fired up from people that were fans of the show, and it's gone from okay, well, all right, I got a couple of customers, and then another one pops up. It's kind of like I'm trying to see how far I can stretch the thing out because it's one of those jobs where you only get paid when you get paid.
But you've always had a pretty good attention to detail, haven't you?
No, man, I'm scatterbrained. I'm an absolute. I didn't even bring the keys to get in here tonight. I had to bang on the window for somebody.
I would think you would be really good at real estate.
But yeah, subscribe, tell your friends, and this brought to you by Breaks to Go. I think this is the last ad I owe them. Make sure I do it before we get out of here today.
Okay, I will.
And then Dr. Koenig, who's doing my kids' dot braces, he wants to sponsor the podcast. So we'll talk more about that later on and how we're going to do that. So
my kid might not need braces. Isn't that crazy?
that is crazy. I was about to say to you, we get the hookup.
Now, if we did, we'd go to this fella, but but he may not need them.
He did my son's. Yeah, he did my son's and my daughter's got them coming in, and then they show the X-rays with all the impacted wisdom teeth.
Yeah, my teeth were fucked up. My ex-wife's teeth were fucked up, but I think our genes combine in a way that they canceled each other out. He's got perfect teeth.
Multiplied.
My teeth. I had tetetracycline as a baby in the hospital. And tetracycline was one of the
Is that the Def Leppard album?
No, it was one of the early antibiotics, and it evidently just softened the enamel on the teeth.
Oh,
so I
man.
had a little part of the tooth where the enamel didn't cover it, so it was brown right here.
Oh.
And everybody in West Texas had streaked brown teeth anyway, but it's nothing like being called brown tooth when you're 7 years old. So, but eventually I've just had them all crowned.
Yeah.
Meeting the right dentist and advertising and that sort of thing. So, all right, let's get back to Matt Sadler. All right.
Yeah. Let's get back
I'm
to Matt
surprised
Sadler.
to be here because, quite honestly, I really thought for a while that neither of you liked me.
Okay,
I
talk closer.
sincerely believe that you didn't like me, that you didn't like me.
Talk closer into the mic.
Why?
I'm so sorry.
That's all right.
Wow, that's weird. You think I had this job for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I swear to God. I talked
Why?
with Bob about that. I always got the impression you just didn't like me. I've talked to many people
From
about this,
what?
and they're like, no, Mike doesn't like you. He really doesn't like you.
this
No
is
one
gonna
said
be
that.
Not
good.
just my act, but me
This is
personally.
going to be
Like,
good.
you just don't like me. You don't like Matt. You're not a Matt Sadler fan. Like, you just don't like me, which is fine.
Wait, no one said that. Wait a minute.
No. That was said by several people.
No, it's not.
Mike, I'm not kidding.
Can I say that it's something in his defense?
Hold
He was very happy to have you here. Tom.
No. I'm happy to be here. But,
Doesn't
and you
sound
too,
like it.
Dale. I thought you didn't like me as well. And I still harbor that feeling. I'm not, I mean, I'm an insecure person, but I really
Hold
just
on.
felt
You're
like you, Mike, did not enjoy like my company or my presence. That's, I guess, what I'm getting at. Based on just your entire demeanor. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to take this in a weird direction.
You did, though.
I'm fucking blown away by you saying this. And I'm still thinking I'm in the middle
I'm
of
not doing a bit.
I feel like you're doing a bit.
Can I say something
Jump
about
in.
Mike?
Please. It's your show. I mean,
Mike is the most private person in show business I've ever met.
Okay.
You don't, we don't hang out. I haven't gone to sup with him or anything like that.
You've not supped?
No, and I don't know a lot about his personal. Where I'm I'm Mr. Blabbermouth. I wear
your
my
heart's on your sleeve.
My
Yeah.
heart's on my sleeve, and it's broken him into 1,000 fucking pieces by being that way. Mike is pretty. Show business is pretty separate. Are you feeling like you're being attacked right now?
I really hope
I'm
not.
I'm fucking baffled because I feel like I've known you a long time.
We
I've
have
always
known
liked
each other
you.
for a long
And
time,
I
but
feel like
you
we've got along.
you don't ever want to extend. I remember several shows where you're like, Sadler's on the bill. I don't want to play. I don't want to go after Sadler. I don't want to go. No, you've said that before, Mike.
That would be you're hard to follow.
No, you just
Yeah.
don't like my act.
That's not true.
I voted you.
You
funny-
are making this up.
I'm not making
You
it
are
up.
making
You
this up.
hold on a second.
Hold
You
on. I
hold
voted
on,
you-
Dale.
I voted you funniest
Hold
person.
on.
This is
you retracted
fucking
that. You
insane.
retracted that
No, I did
publicly
not.
on the air. You did.
Yeah, because I was working with Bearden.
You're not doing that to.
I didn't
to please
retract
him.
it.
You retracted
No,
it.
I did not.
I swear
That
on my
night-
balls, Dale.
that
I
night-
used to listen to the show every
that
morning
night-
before I went on the air,
Well, if it-
so I knew what I was getting into.
First of all, you've been on the air. You know you're going to fill a hole with whatever you're going to fucking fill it with, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Well, I get that, but you actually publicly said, "We think you're funnier than Sadler."
No, that night you won. I voted for you. I was going to beat up the guy from The Statesman who thought you were too dirty.
Okay.
I got in an argument with the dude.
All right. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt on
All
this
right.
one. But Mike,
We got to work this out.
we got to work this
You
out.
want me to turn the
Because
mics
I
off?
really felt, I talked to Bob about it. I've talked to Kristen about it. I've talked to people.
Which Bob?
Who talked to who?
Bigger staff. Yeah.
Who talked to who? Kristen?
Yeah.
Lindner?
Yeah.
How would she know what the fuck I think about anything?
I don't know.
You go punch him. I punch him and say,
I've
like you,
always
damn it."
felt like you didn't like me.
And
No, here's the thing. If I could say this, I used to have this very high school mentality where if somebody didn't like me, I'd be like, well, fuck him. I don't like him either. But then I reached a point in my life where I was like, you know what? If somebody doesn't like me, maybe they have a point. Maybe they're right. Maybe I'm an asshole. Maybe my act is shitty.
I got the title for the podcast.
Hold on. Wait a minute. I've started running a show here in town the third Thursday of every month, and one of the things I got to get fucking Sadler on there.
No.
I've had that independent thought.
No, I'm not playing your show. Fuck you.
This seems like you're making this
I'm
up.
really
This
not
is
doing a bit here.
Fucking.
Mike, I've always felt like you don't like me.
Oh my God, this is fucking wild.
I would do any show you did. I think you're a genius. I think you're brilliant. I love watching you on stage. But when you and I, what was that club? Do you remember the last time we worked together?
Did a show together or
Yeah,
worked
yeah.
I want to say it was at the Velveeta Room. Wasn't it?
No. It was the club. It wasn't even a club. It was that fucking bar in North Austin. Oh,
Yeah,
Mike.
narrow that down. A little bit.
The Irish pub bar or what?
Kind of. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
I can't.
Right there, it's
The guy that
one of these
used to
three.
run it died of COVID.
Anderson Mill Pub.
Yes. Yeah, you and I barely interacted. I mean, I was so effusive and over the top, just nice to you, wanted to talk to you, and you just were having none of it.
There might have been something going on in my head.
Yes.
I think this is something I do deal with. Sometimes people think that I don't like them when I like them a lot.
Okay.
That's a very common thing that I deal with.
Is this not just for the air, but you actually like me?
We're not on
Yes,
the air.
I like you, and I'm very freaked out by how incorrectly I've conveyed my.
Okay. Well, I apologize.
I'm exactly like
You need
this.
to apologize, but I'm glad you brought
I'll
this
get
up.
to you in a second.
I'm glad you brought this up because I am kind of like turned around by this.
I always thought you hated me.
For 20 years?
Yeah.
Fucking shit, dude.
You would just tolerate me because we were in the same comedy club or
That's
whatever.
everyone, Sadler.
What's that?
That's everyone.
Come on,
Come
Dale,
on,
don't
man.
be me.
I'm still trying to figure
Because
out how
I
you got a
internalize that when you say
five-bedroom
things
house
like
in
that.
Steiner.
I'm like, yeah, no,
Who died? Was it your wife's
Nobody
family?
died. I work.
Yeah, but you can't. It's I gotta go. I want to drive by. And look at this
literally,
fucking house.
I swear to God,
Come
and I'm
over
not.
to my house.
You know, I got to fight in the pizza place there one night.
I don't know what that means.
The pizza joint up at the front of Steiner. Is it still there?
Travis, Lakeside Pizza is what's
Lakes. Oh no, it was a different little restaurant.
Oh,
It
okay.
might
I
have
know.
closed by now. Now, why do you think I don't like you?
Because, okay, so there was a thing that we used to do on the air where Charlie and I would come in for the last segment with you guys.
Yeah, but that was all about Charlie.
Oh, okay. No, I felt like it was about me because you were going after Sarah Palin. And I just I'm not smart enough to do politics. I'm just really not smart. I had no love for the woman.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah, please.
I'm no longer on the radio because of Donald Trump.
Okay.
It goes back.
I believe that.
The owner of the station,
right?
When they put me on the AM station and I had no support, I had the morning show hacking me to pieces over there. I was doing a thing about Limbaugh.
I
did a thing called "Hear the Lies Limbaugh Told You" today, right?
Yeah.
And I kept getting called to lunch with Chase would say no agenda, and he'd go, "Look, man, can you just not talk about Limbaugh?" And I go, "Why?" He goes, "There's somebody up in the chain that doesn't think it's a smart idea that you're losing the Limbaugh listeners." I said, "I lose the Limbaugh listeners as soon as I open my fucking mouth."
Of course,
right?
You made no secret of that.
They wouldn't tell me who it was. If they told me it was, Bob Sinclair, I would have said, "Oh shit!" But that's I'm pretty sure that was in his mind the minute he bought the radio stations. I knew the minute he bought the radio stations that I was fucked.
Oh,
okay. I had a 5-year deal. I don't even think I got let go because I promised myself not to get into it anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to get into it anymore.
Sure.
But I don't like the fact that I know politics. And I'll tell you what's great right now is not diving into it, not absorbing it,
I pay attention to
getting off of Twitter. I got off of Twitter.
I've never been on Twitter.
No, the thing with us was, and I would love to have Charlie do this podcast. I thought about calling him. I don't have the balls to call him. I want Daniel. I finally had a breakthrough with Daniel. Daniel was applying for a job in Seattle and put me down as a reference. And so I texted him, and he texted me back, said, "Thank you very much. No hard feelings." Because I had nothing to do. This is a funny thing. I had nothing to do with you guys leaving. I know that. I had nothing to do with Charlie.
You were one of the first people to reach out. And
immediately.
You called me.
I tried to call. I immediately called.
And I thought that was very classy, by the way.
Yeah, no. But what we couldn't understand the whole show is Charlie didn't want to seem to do that crossover. And I may be wrong, and Matt may have been wrong.
No, we loved the crossover.
Oh,
but you got upset one day because we weren't on the same page with you about Palin, and we felt like
it was
right after
general.
that we stopped the crossover.
It was in general. He left, and like we weren't buddies anymore. It just was suddenly there was
well, that's
silence.
Unfortunate because you guys have
talented guy. He should be on the air somewhere.
Yeah, I mean,
he should be on.
Tried a couple of things. I miss him actually. I haven't interacted with him in a while, but not for any animosity or anything.
No, there's and then I don't want to get into it.
I love Charlie.
There was for a while there, somebody on the show was saying, "You got that right," which was his catchphrase.
Yeah.
And his wife thought we were making fun of him. I didn't necessarily. I don't think I did it.
Oh.
But if I did, I'm very sorry. And then My wife was still trying to be friends with his wife, and she just said, I can't be friends with you anymore.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's a shitty fucking business, man.
Yeah,
it is.
It's terrestrial radio.
But it's not even that. I think it's anytime you put insecure people like you on the air who thinks everybody fucking hates him, it's very
kernel of truth.
And then when people start getting
like
fired, when people start getting fired, that's when it really, the nerves and the numbers and all that other stuff.
But I think everybody understood that you had nothing to do with that.
No, I can remember the day that it happened. I was sitting in my son's elementary school right there in Steiner, whatever it's called. I was waiting for my son to get out of school, and Scott called me. Scott and I think Chase was on the line. They said, we just want to let you guys know we let them go. And I just went, well, why couldn't you have told us this was coming down the pike? Because everybody's going to blame us. Because that morning I had been upset that you guys were doing Stoner Trivia, which was my fucking bit.
No, it wasn't Stoner Trivia. You know what it was?
It was Stoner Trivia.
It was, hey, dumbass, get dumbass on the phone.
No. It was Stoner Trivia.
Was it?
And I would have no problem if somebody had come to me and said, "Hey, we're going to do Stoner Trivia. Are you cool with that?" But they didn't. But it is what it is. And I don't know.
That wasn't that great a bet.
Stoner Trivia was fun sometimes. If you did it right. I can see why people hate your fucking guts. So why do you think I don't hate?
I just felt like there was a wall between us.
No, I'll tell you what. Bob was pissed once when.
I remember.
Yeah, when
the plane hit.
The plane flew into the fucking. It's the Porsche building now.
As he put it, I got Italian on your ass real quick.
Yeah. And
the IRS.
And he called. He tried to do a call in for you guys, and he felt as though you were being very dismissive.
I was sprinting back between AM and FM because Charlie's screaming at me to get the news. I don't know the news. I don't have the news. I'm running down to the AM station, and as I'm running past, Daniel screams, Bob's on the line, and I go, Bob's show's over. And that was the phrase that he heard, and that was it.
It's just always, it always comes from deep insecurity, though. It
was my insecurity. It was entirely on me.
Yeah, and again, I'm not going to get into my whole deal again. But
no, I know.
I keep thinking there's a phone call coming in because this light over here is blinking. I can go, let's go to the phone.
Let's go to the phone.
It's Charlie Hodge. What's up?
Oh, here he's doing well.
Anyway, so I'm sorry that I misread that situation, Mike.
For 20 years.
For 20 years, I just thought you were just arm's length,
No. And
okay,
I can appear distant to people, but that's not what that means.
Apologize.
I mean, and I am completely 100% serious that I have had thought, I'm the one that books the show, even though I run it with a partner. I'm like, I got to see if Sadler can do it.
I would love to do any show.
Is that the one you did Thursday?
Yeah, it's my Thursday.
I'm thinking about coming in.
Yeah. So I mean,
tell me about the show.
It's a monthly showcase show at Oddwood Brewery on Manor near Airport that my friend Paul Odo and I run. And it's Paul. Just and we just have 5 or 6 comics
I think he
show
hates
up.
Me, but
oh my God, I'm sure he doesn't. You need to you need therapy. I don't say this very often.
You like this Paul guy, but you don't like us that much.
Yeah.
Oh, for Christ's
sake. What's where the hatred coming from?
Where is it coming from?
Well, it's coming now. It wasn't from before.
We've talked about this. You're a very private person. But
that doesn't mean I hate people.
In the show business.
It's like, I just don't answer all your questions all the time.
For somebody like me, it's like I seriously lost every male friend that I've had. And for various reasons. And then in the past couple of years, I mean, I don't hear from anybody. Acevedo is probably my closest friend. And I don't
really?
And I don't think he thinks of me as his closest. You know what I'm saying? When some guy's your best friend, right?
Right.
But you're not even on his list of best friends.
Can I ask you, can I follow up with that?
Sure.
I would have thought on that list would be Kevin Nealon. Aren't you guys close?
Kevin is the best. Kevin is the closest show business friend I have.
Okay.
But it's you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do.
It's when you're interacting. He's volunteered to do this podcast, but I want this podcast to be something a little bit more regular and a little bit more funny. Like, this is funny to me. Conflict is funny to me.
I outrank Kevin Nealon.
No, I'm building. And also I want to be able to do it where we're both on Zoom. And, listen, some of you out there, I need a lot of fucking technical help. And here's another thing I need. I need a goddamn job.
Are you serious?
Well, when the real estate's thin, I was talking to Jason Dick. It was so funny when Jason was on. and I asked him, I said, have you tried Indeed.com? And it's so hilarious when you have come out of the business that I have, where you look at, I've always been deeply insecure, don't like myself.
Right.
But I knew that I had some heft in that job for a long time.
Okay.
I'd been sitting there a long time and had brought in a lot of money.
Sure.
And so I wasn't cocky about it, but I felt as though, I was set.
Sense of security.
I was set. And being out and being free and sitting around for a few there were months I couldn't work because I was ill. And I'm not afraid to talk about being mentally ill. There were months and months that there was nothing I could go do. I didn't want to do.
No shame.
But what's funny is when you get on Indeed.com and your resume literally says KLBJ FM 34 years, 10 months, and you don't have anything. I'm not going to put KFMX 1987. And then I did a cover letter telling people, look, even though I've been at this job, I'm an expert at promotions, coming up with promotions, press. I could do that, and anything involved with media. I think of David Swappert, who is the press guy now for, at least he was for Richard Garriott. I could do something like that.
Okay.
But no, I get offered. The one that keeps coming up is to be a tour guide for the wineries.
Oh my God!
to entertain people and pour the wine. That one comes up a lot.
Well, I could see it.
I have won several writing awards, but every time I apply for writing, it's always they want a technical writer, and writer's going to go away, man. I'm telling you. Have you played with Chat GPT at all?
No.
I've heard people talk about it. It's extremely disturbing to me.
You think in your mind, well, come on. It's a computer talking. It's never going to be just right. Go in Chat GPT and say, write me a 2,000 word column and put in about whoever. And it will sit there and you'll watch it for a second and then all of a sudden it'll go, and it is a well-written, succinct, a perfect syntax column about the person that you've entered in there. It even, of course, because of your ego, I put my own name in there. It came back and said that I had grown up in the
that cannot compute.
Just throw back. I hate
Does
you.
not know name
Everyone
Dale
hates
Dudley.
you. Did you know Mike MacRae hates you? Are you friends with Sadler? No, but I lived in the Midwest evidently, and
oh shit! So it gets it wrong.
Yeah, and in 2000,
see, fuck these robots.
I went into rehab.
Now, wait till they take over.
I mean, you're cool.
I left the show for a period of time to go to rehab, which has never happened. I've left the show a week or two to go to the hospital a couple of times.
Okay.
But that's pretty good at 34 years. I mean, just 2 hospital stays. But this last one kind of got me, I guess. So there you go. But I was talking about that on the air when I got back. Yeah. Oh well.
Look where that got you.
Yeah. Yeah. Where were we?
Mike MacRae hates me.
This
This is what.
Just to come back to the old standard. I do think, people do think that a lot. People have always gotten it. I don't know. I think there's something wrong in my the way I socialize with people, I guess.
Oh,
because if
you're not somebody who's on
No.
Sadler's pretty frenetic of a human being.
Yeah, that's natural.
Yeah. That's why I wouldn't want to follow you.
Yeah, I'm in a constant state of social panic that I deal with just by being.
Oh, I am too.
And I think the way I deal with it is this thing that comes off as he thinks he's better than everybody,
aloof,
which is not the case at all. But that's just it's just social
hateful
anxiety.
Yeah.
But I'm not being mean. I'm not saying hate. I'm not actually doing anything to give you these impressions. Am I?
Yeah.
I am?
No, you hurled the glass against a wall one time at the comedy club.
That was Brian Hersey, I'm pretty sure.
Well, you what?
No, you are kidding now, right?
No, you broke a glass.
That was Brian Hersey.
No, it was you.
Oh,
It was a Cap
this
City.
is not what I thought this would be.
When did I throw a glass?
Well, you didn't throw it. You dropped it, but you broke
Well,
it.
that's me.
Oh, I remember this. I was doing a joke and I hit the table God damn it or whatever, and then it knocked off.
Yeah.
That was an accident.
I'm pretty sure it was fueled by hatred for me.
Speaking of which, Do the cruise line people?
Are you being serious right now? Okay. God damn it. Well, you can't code switch like this. You can't have this like genuine thing and then like trick me into thinking.
Yeah,
I've never had a negative thought about you in my entire life.
Are you? Now that's bullshit. I know that's bullshit.
Not.
You threw me off the air one morning before I even got in radio. You threw me off the air.
I've only thrown 2 people off the air. And
You
I can tell
threw
you
me off the air, Dale.
And I think only 3.
And it was because I was
Trey
bored
Gallion?
and you were doing your little political
hold on.
rant.
Hold on,
And
hold on.
I just, out of boredom, decided to say the opposite of whatever you were
But
saying.
you didn't leave.
And it pissed you. Wanted me to.
No, I didn't.
Bob
I always said
convinced
leave
me
the
to stay,
room.
but you threw me off
I would
the
do
air.
the same thing to Daniel. I'd say leave the room so I can cool off a little bit.
Okay, I'll give you that. But yeah, you did.
No,
You said get the fuck out of the.
I was out of town, but they didn't throw him out, but they asked Mitch Hedberg to leave one morning.
Really?
He was falling asleep from heroin.
Shit.
I threw a stripper out once.
What'd
Nice.
she do?
Well, it was back when we had strippers on. We couldn't after Janet Jackson's nipple, we couldn't have porn stars on. I think the show got better though because we had to come up. We had to just not rely on dirty. We had to rely on kids.
I never found that playing
and all that other stuff. But I remember she goes because the strippers always came in and took their clothes off, and I think I said something about taking clothes off, and she goes, "You're not Howard Stern," which at the time, at the time,
An arrow into the heart.
I've confessed that I was trying to be Howard Stern because I heard Howard when I was in Lubbock. We took ABC News at the top of the hour, so you heard WNBC before you switched over, and I heard it one time, and several times I'd been a fan, and I went, if I keep playing records, I won't have a job. And sure enough, when Bob and I stopped playing records in around between 93 and 94, we just slowly went down to 1 record an hour, then none, and we got called in. I'll never forget. We had a
fucking rebels, man.
Yeah, there was a dude. The movie would be good. The book would be good, but there was a consultant in Los Angeles, a guy we'd never met in person, right? And he said, "What are you guys doing?" And we said, "The show is about nothing. It's like Seinfeld." And the guy goes, "You're not Steinfeld." That may have been a general manager, but I knew that you couldn't sit and play records and win against the guy. He killed everybody he came to town. So I tried to outdo him with stealing some of his shit, as a matter of fact, before he got here, and it worked. He came in twice and didn't make a dent in us.
Nice.
Now, if I'm being honest, this signal at KJFK was horrendous. So he never really was going to do anything anyway. If somebody put him on 100,000 watts like we were, he would have been great. That's why. I got to tell you off the air what the offer was from this other radio station.
But didn't he call you out on the air?
Yeah, I have it on tape somewhere. I wish I could find it.
I remember
Howard
hearing
Stern
that.
did?
Yeah. He goes,
Howard
"That's Dudley and Bob down there," and he said, "I can't remember."
When he
exactly
came in
what
the
said.
market, he said, "Dale Dudley has been trying to be me for
Yeah.
years."
No, he didn't say that, but
He said something close to that.
yeah, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
I remember hearing that going.
Did you
"Fuck."
hear it at the time? You were listening?
What's that?
Like, did you live here and hear it at the
Oh,
time?
yeah.
Wow.
it was like Dudley and Bob better get ready and pack their bags. or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah,
it was more like that.
yeah. That's exactly.
And
what
then
he said.
years later, they interviewed me for remember they had the Howard Stern News
Mhm.
with the big voiced radio guy.
Yeah.
They actually did the news. He actually interviewed me, and I gave him all the credit for having a career. Listen, man, people listen to the bands will admit to you who they idolized. But for somebody in comedy or anything else, they go, "Oh, you're ripping somebody off." Well, eventually it became a Texas thing. I was a Texas boy telling Texan stories and telling stories about my life. I realized that that's what he was doing. That's it. And then once the Janet Jackson thing, the show got a lot smarter. I think it's smart. I think it's great.
Can I say something about that? Because I started.
Oh, and I need to say, so they do that. That ran all weekend, and then they came back and they ran that. He did it live, and Howard. That was where the drop in goes, where he goes, "Well, thank you, Dale."
Oh,
So,
wow.
Yeah, he had mentioned it several times in very nice terms.
Oh, good.
So
Oh,
later on,
anyway, as a comic, I cut my teeth on your show.
right?
And the entire attitude of the show was one that is, I didn't know how singular it was, how unique, in that your entire attitude was, we're doing a show. you're a comedian who's a guest on our show. If you have something to contribute, jump in.
Absolutely.
But we're not going to set you up for bits.
No.
In fact, if we smell you going into a bit, we're going to call you on it.
And that threw people off. It threw me off the first time because I
Really?
was used to doing radio where it's like, all right, set up your bullshit.
Yeah.
And then I did yours and I was like, they're not doing
it's
that.
so much more organic and better.
You are.
And I had to go all these fucking little towns where the local radio, fucking shock jocks in the morning, not shock jocks, but, whatever. They're like, so I hear you got married or you don't like president's bugging you.
How about that airport food?
And the whole thing. And you guys were like, no, we're not going to do that.
Right.
And so you had one of two choices. It was either let them set you up for a bit or just fucking take over.
Yeah.
Get into the studio. Just go, listen, just sit back. Let me do this. I'll just start talking for 5 minutes and then we'll go to
I couldn't stand
fucking Leonard Skinner record.
But it wasn't. It was an organic thing. It wasn't something like it's just that I hated zoo type.
But I
hated
that shit.
zoo type radio shows where they were just
I didn't know how unique that
chuckle.
was.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, and once you got the hang of it, you're like, oh, okay, this is cool. This is fun. They'll let you talk, but you don't know how to. You don't know these guys. You don't know what their vibe is. You don't know how to insert your thing in. But if you did it enough, like
I remember,
it was so special.
I remember I was okay. The one time I was really rude, not rude, just turned to a comic and told him the truth. Right. I was going through a breakup, and you know how bad I take breakups.
Yeah.
I mean, my God. And I was, in between during spot sets, I was laying my head down on the desk. And God bless Bob for taking up the slack back then, and then Charlie and Matt too. But this guy came in and he was impressionist, not you, which you still haven't done one voice since we started the podcast, not one.
Well, where's the
who's that?
If there's a point to me doing one, I'll do it.
That was Liam Neeson.
Who am I doing? Ready? I don't think you like me, Matt.
Matt Bearden?
Matt Sadler. Matt Sadler. Hey, but no.
He'll say that too.
We already talked about this, didn't we? We already talked about this on the air. The guy came in and said, look, I'm going to pretend to be, who was it? I'm going to pretend to be Jack Black. I want to say it was Jack Black or something. And it wasn't even his best impersonation. And he wanted to do it the whole show. And he said, we'll do a reveal at the end of the show. And I went through 2 breaks with him.
Was it Craig Gass?
Yes.
And
I went to we went to
so
like the
weird.
second break and I go, dude, I'm not doing this anymore. I mean, I'm not going to do the whole show pretending you're Jack Black or whoever it is he wanted to pretend to be.
The weird one I remember was fucking, who's the guy with the puppets?
Jeff Dunham?
I love
Dunham.
fucking, just go ahead and hate me. I love Jeff Dunham on the radio for some reason.
But he brought the puppets in.
I know, but for some reason he made it fucking, it made me laugh.
It's like, you understand this is radio.
Right, but he had Walter, and Walter, I'm looking at the puppet, and he's being this grumpy old man. I thought it was at the time. I didn't realize at the time he was racist and all that other stuff.
He's not racist, but he's crazy. Like Daniel was saying that he was in the green room having conversations with the puppets, like arguments.
Just him and the thing?
Yes, just him.
Whoa.
Poured this drink.
No, he's fucking crazy. I mean, he's good at what he does.
I want to get to you for a second.
I'm sorry?
I want to get to you.
Okay. I'm sorry.
But thank you. Those are nice words. I'm glad to hear them. That was my intention the whole time, was to make it as real as possible.
Fawn over Dale.
And unfortunately, I got a little too real.
I'm sorry.
What's really weird is that all of that shit just blurting out, starting every morning, I had to get whatever was bothering me off my mind. Sure. And then I could go on.
That was the
show.
first 2 hours.
First 2 hours. And
then it was commercial.
I learned it eventually was detrimental that I'd talk that much about my life and my family and my romances and all that other stuff. At one point, I still think that's a fucking phone call. Let me take it.
Are you recording?
First time caller, long time listener.
Girl. We're trying to get her not to be so preoccupied with her butt. So we're giving our daughter a bath, and she's real preoccupied with her butt. She's got these styrofoam letters that are in the bathtub.
I have no idea why I put this in this machine.
Next, and sticks it in the crack of her butt, and she's swimming around on her stomach, going, "I've got an X in my butt."
All right. I put that in there for some reason, thinking that we might use it. Okay, the cruise ships. I want to know this because it's interesting to me.
Okay.
First of all, you don't have to stand in line, do you, to get on the cruise ship?
Yeah.
No, you got to stand in that giant line.
Well,
Don't you just go down through the employees'
I go to crew
entrance?
entrance.
Okay,
Yeah.
and you don't have. Do you get a regular room, or are you down?
Oh no, God no.
Oh, you're down in the.
Oh yes.
You're down in the hole.
No, I'm down. My deck doesn't even have a number or a letter.
Is there a window?
No, there's not a window. I'm down with the guys who are shoveling coal into the fire. There's barnacles on my pillow, man.
No, really. If you're far down there with no window,
I'm the fuck down there. I'm way down there.
Is that where
crazy.
everyone is?
All the comics.
Yeah.
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 You know, I saw Billy D there on the
love
ship,
Billy D so
and
much.
it's so weird to
He's so great.
somebody that you've known for so long, and there you are on a cruise ship, and you're just sitting right in front of him. So we hung out a little bit. He did two different shows. One where he talked about like politics and stuff, but he made it where it was palatable for everyone.
Right.
Is way too smart for a cruise ship.
I don't
Way too
understand the
smart.
way his brain works.
Yeah.
He's one of the smartest comics I've
So
ever
how
met.
many shows a day do you do?
So it depends on the ship, but I do 30 minutes, right? And so I'll do 5 shows a cruise usually, and 3 of them are
Do you
just.
talk into the mic when you're doing your
I'm
show?
so sorry.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. I do 3 PG shows, or 3 R shows, which is, you still
A
want to have
day?
a show where you're doing
A day or a week?
a week.
Okay.
Usually 1 show a day, maybe 2. The last cruise I had to do 5 shows in 1 day, which was insane. But you still want to put together a show that has a beginning, a middle, and an end. It has an arc. It's not just chopping it up into 3. You're not just chopping an hour and a half show into 3 30-minute shows. You do 3 shows, and then you have to do 2 PG shows, and they want you to repeat, and I can't do it. I can't repeat my shows. So I
Right.
have 5 shows that I do
Huh.
because
You still do the big closer you had for that funniest person
Yeah,
in Austin?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. I get in trouble if I don't.
You get in trouble if you don't do that bit?
Yeah, people know me for that bit.
Oh, I see what it's like.
It's the bit, and it's still fun to do. I still love that bit. But
All right.
yeah, and then I have to do 2 PG shows, which are not PG shows at all because there's fucking children there, and I still don't get why they have children in a comedy show.
You know what was a blast is that Bob and I would go into the music trivia and to name that tune. And dude, you remember Mark Spitz? That's a reference to
The swimmer?
Remember when he was on the cover of Sports Illustrated with 7 gold medals?
Yeah,
Yeah.
And I would leave with 7 of those little ships hanging from.
I think I was on that cruise with you.
Yeah, when we do that, name that tune.
Yeah.
So, are you allowed to eat like everybody else does?
Oh yeah.
You can go to
Yeah.
the buffet and
Oh, yeah.
do whatever.
Yeah.
If you order pizza, will they come to your room?
No,
They
I have
won't
to go
come
get the pizza.
You
yeah.
have to go get the all night
Yeah.
pizza. Now, what about the crowds? What about the audiences?
Last week I was in Alaska. I leave tomorrow for the Caribbean.
Fuck you. I don't even know why you're here. I don't like him now. I'm sorry.
Why? Because he travels
I
for work?
withdraw that.
Like, what
I
is-
witdraw that. No, but that'll
Like you withdrew your vote for me as funniest person in Austin.
Oh, come on, I had time to fill. Shit.
All right.
We did that Alaska cruise once, and that one's I like the cold more than I like the hot, and that was just such a fucking bless. So beautiful, so gorgeous.
Oh, I love that's most of what I'm doing this summer is
And
Alaska cruises.
The towns the towns you arrive in are all landlocked. Like you can't get to them except by the airplane or
Correct.
ship. Right? Like
Juneau's the only state capital that you can't drive to.
Ketchikan,
Ketchikan,
Saskatchewan,
Sitka.
Sasquatchville? Like it's all Bigfoots that live there?
Yes, and they're hard drinkers.
I bet.
What's the craziest thing? I saw something on a ship and it got me in trouble, and I think it's your cruise line, so we'll leave it there.
Okay. So the craziest thing is are you familiar with the pineapples?
Was swingers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, immediately when I said pineapple, you said swingers.
You're not joking.
No, I'm not joking. That's the thing. Do you know what we're talking about?
If you're a swinger, allegedly, like you're a hot woman, which it's not real. you get a pineapple when you're in the grocery store and you put it in your cart upside down, and it tells other people you're a swinger.
No.
No?
I'm talking about on the cruise ship, but similar to what you're saying, in your cabin, if you have a sticker
With the pineapple
or a
upside
magnet
down.
of an upside down pineapple, that means you can go ahead and knock on that door and we can fuck. Yeah. No, I mean, there are swingers on the cruises.
They have swinger cruises though,
But
they book them. I mean,
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, and they're pretty messy from what I'm told. I haven't worked one.
Ew.
Yeah. No, I mean, people,
I would have loved it.
I know you would
I
have.
would have loved
You
it.
actually would have thrived.
Yeah. You ever heard the story of Stanhope and how what's his girlfriend's name?
Bingo.
Bingo.
Yeah.
When Bingo broke up with him and why? When he was they were on a cruise.
No, go ahead.
He was just partying all day long. He told us on story. He was partying all day long. He's partying like Doug Stanhope's parties, you know. And there was a girl in the hot tub, and evidently he thought Bingo that we were all cool. We could go have a relationship, and so he took her back to the room to this girl, and evidently Bingo walked in and didn't say anything. Didn't go aghast. She was like whatever. And then when they got back home, she left him for another dude for a while.
Wow.
Some guy but then that guy didn't have running water or electricity or something.
Oh, that's a downside.
He was a guy who lived out on off the grid.
Off the grid, yeah.
Yeah, I miss Doug. I miss seeing Doug Stanhope.
Yeah.
It always was. There would be a point where you would they didn't need to do comedy clubs. You know who that's happened to? It's great. Is our good friend. I'm going to think of her name in just a second. Southern Belle.
Leanne Morgan?
Leanne Morgan is now doing. She's doing the freaking Moody Center, dude.
Yeah.
She got her a manager because she had a pilot that was going to be on TNT or something, and it didn't, and it fell through. And I remember her coming in real disappointed, and then somehow she got a hold of a manager that's just blown her up on social media, and those clips have flown around, and now it's like a sellout. Yeah, and I was like, well, when that happens though, you don't feel like I've got Bill Burr in my phone. I would never pick up my phone and call Bill Burr now. They don't need you anymore. That's the weird thing about show business friends. That's why Neelan and I, he doesn't need me, but we had AFib. That's what tied us together. Mm-hmm. When he found out I had AFib, just, super nice guy. All right. What's the weirdest thing you've seen? I saw a woman get punched in the face.
What's that?
You know the story, right?
A woman got punched in the face?
That's so hot.
A woman got punched in the face, and I tweeted it out. And the next thing I know, there's 3 guys with epaulets on their uniforms.
You're right.
That say, "Are you Dale Dudley?" And I went, "Yes." And they go, "Can you come with us, please?" And I was put into a room with 7 of them asking me if I could take my tweets down. And then I said, "Well, what are you going to do for me?" After having, how many comedy cruises did we do? 4 or 5. We brought thousands of people on the ship.
Yeah.
The head of promotions for this company wrote my bosses and said I tried to extort them.
Whoa.
Yeah. Because I said,
oh, I remember this.
oh, yeah. I went on a campaign, dude.
Yeah, you went off. You went
off. I sure did. I went on a campaign. But that's a whole nother thing.
When I first started, a woman went overboard and they stopped the ship and turned it around to, I would say they went to go find her, but they knew she was,
They just found one recently. The same thing happened a few weeks ago.
It
Wait,
happens.
this woman died?
Oh, yeah. Oh, when you fall from the top of the ship and hit water, it breaks every bone in your body. I mean, it's like hitting cement. And so even if you survive, you're going to drown.
How did she go over?
Drunkenness,
They don't know.
usually.
Oh, no.
There was that guy on his honeymoon, though.
Yeah.
This is on a different
fucking
line.
great.
And there
Years
was a
ago.
grandfather who held the grandbaby.
Oh,
on a
that
different
fucking.
line.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Stop.
So that was weird, but they made a big show of turning the ship around. But it's like, I mean, they already knew there was no chance they were going to get her. And that's pretty depressing. Here's the weirdest thing.
Hold on. Did anybody else hear that?
It was a car driving by.
It was a little rice burner.
Oh.
I thought we were suddenly broadcasting from F. I've become a huge F1 fan.
Mm.
That's for another podcast. More like that.
So there's a morgue on the ship.
Oh,
Whoa,
yeah.
What?
Dude, I got banned.
From the morgue?
I forgot to tell you this.
Your morgue privileges
Sir,
were
please.
revoked?
Before you
This
tell
is
that,
not part of the experience.
I have a cruise story. I would have rather told you the one instead of somebody getting hit. I was on the Disney cruise,
Okay.
and we were trying to broadcast. And of course, back then, you could only broadcast and get a signal out when you were in port.
Right.
And we tried to do it when we were at sea, and it was almost impossible.
Sure.
They probably improved that now. And I being myself, it's happened so many times in my career where they didn't know what the show was like. And so the captain comes on and he sits down and he goes, I go, is it true that there's a jail on the boat? And he goes, oh, I wouldn't know anything about that. And all of a sudden I look and the people from Disney are doing this and doing this. And I got banned. They didn't want me to do another broadcast. We didn't do another broadcast. So I went on this Disney cruise with my kids and my wife, and basically I worked 1 or 2 days, and I didn't have to do shit after that.
Nice.
weird that
That's sort of the perfect outcome.
Disney's hardcore.
Oh yeah, no,
They're hardcore. They do not want you.
they're
pulling
the
curtain back
scariest
in.
people.
But that is weird that they would not want that known.
You say morgue, but it's probably a closet, right?
No, it's a morgue. It's right next to the crew laundry.
It's the morgue.
And it's not labeled. There's no sign on the door because the only people that need to know where that is know where it's at.
Or the shit morticians, of
Yes,
course.
exactly.
It's like
the medical staff.
you lose Papa, right? He's down in the morgue, and they're not going to go to port because they're not going to turn the boat around for your grandfather. So,
I mean, if you think about it, it makes sense that they would have a morgue. But I was on a ship that was going to Hawaii, and a guy got
dead?
violently ill. No, he had to be helicoptered off, so we had to turn the ship around. And my joke was, no, don't worry, he's fine. They took him to the best Mexican veterinarian that is available.
what about the
On
jail?
stage, you said that?
Yeah.
What about the brig?
The brig, there is a brig. There's a jail.
Right.
But more than likely what will happen to you if you really screw up is you'll get confined to quarters, is what they call it, where you can't unlock your door.
Can't unlock your door.
No, you're in your cabin. They're bringing you meals. You can't come out of it.
Wow.
But the morgue, I accidentally walked into.
Nice.
Was somebody in it?
No.
Ah.
But it was, I just walked in. I was like,
They
this
don't really-
room is so nice and chilly.
They usually get them off the next port, right?
Yeah.
And then fly them home.
Yeah. No, they take the remains back.
Do you ever hear this song? Because every time I saw a cartoon when I was a kid and they were at sea, they would play that.
The Popeye song?
I guess so.
Oh. No.
Okay.
I hear a lot of fucking Jimmy Buffett. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
But have there been any? Have you been on like the gay cruise or the swingers cruise or anything like that? The
No,
theme
I'm not.
boats?
I just have friends who work on the ship that have like 6-month, 9-month contracts. They tell me stories of those things.
Yeah.
And
Damn.
I mean, those.
What
people-
did you do? How did you afford this house in Steiner during COVID?
You want to hear something great about the cruise line I work for?
What's that?
We are booked usually about a year out, right?
Right.
When COVID hit, this is the amazing thing about the company I work for. When COVID hit, they sent out an email to all the comics, and I assume all the entertainers as well. And they said, look, it's not our fault that there's a pandemic, but it's not your fault either.
Yeah. Okay.
So
We're gonna pay you.
we want you, when this is over, we don't know how long it's going to be, but when it's over, we want you to have a job when you come back. We want you to keep doing this and not go, flip burgers or whatever. They were like, so we're going to pay you for every gig we booked you for. And I sat on my ass in my new 5-bedroom house on the lake. And I told my wife, I said, the only thing better than getting paid to do comedy is getting paid
To not do
comedy.
Oh, fuck yeah.
It was so sweet.
I had the 4 months.
Can you hook me up in 6 years with cruise ship stuff?
When the next pandemic comes along?
The 4
No,
months
that's when I can do it. It's 6 years from now.
I had 4 months of pay.
My kid will go to college.
Oh,
Oh shit! I've got that coming up. I got a 17-year-old.
and the kid lives with you.
Well, he goes back and forth,
okay.
But But I can't. That's one of the reasons I never really contemplated it. Like, I can't be gone.
You'd kill it.
I don't know that.
Crush.
I don't
I
have.
was thinking the same thing.
I
I was thinking the same thing.
I don't have the amount of material.
Yeah, you do.
The two different types.
You
of,
think you don't, but you do. I know you.
Did you have to audition?
No. Well, I won a contest.
Funniest person in
that's
Austin,
like the worst. Like,
where I voted for you.
No, thank God.
so do we all have to win a contest to get
no,
on
let's
the
feel
thing?
old. Let's feel old. What
you
year-
just got to
what-
have an in with an
Hey.
agent, and I got you in.
Hey, what
Mike, you can do it if you want.
what age were you?
A few years, yeah.
What age was I? What?
No, what year was that you won funniest person in Austin? We just heard
I
Mike
didn't
swallow.
win.
Did you hear that?
By the way,
You didn't win.
no.
Matt won that night.
Yes,
Oh, but I voted.
I took
for you.
second place.
Oh.
Yeah,
What
you
year
did
was it?
vote for me. Fat lot of good that did.
2001.
It was Michael Barnes from the fucking Statesman. I think.
Oh,
that's what
was it really?
Yes. He said you were maybe not. Listen, I don't. I've just used a man's name, and I don't even know if that was the guy. That's a writer I've met, but there was a guy from the Statesman who said, "I don't know. He was really dirty," and I'm like, "It's a fucking
I
comedy
don't
show."
know. He was really dirty. I crushed that set. I fucking
You
crushed that set.
did. You did a great job. of that.
Not to take anything away from Bearden because he also killed.
Right.
Chris Fairbanks took third, which was weird. I mean that was 1, 2, and 3, so that was a hell of a show.
Yeah.
But
What
yeah,
year was that?
2000, 2001.
I think so. I think it
Oh,
was
Jesus
01.
Christ.
Yeah,
Yeah, those would be the three for those years.
Yeah.
I would imagine those would be the top three.
I think 01.
22 or 23 years ago?
Yeah,
Fuck.
yeah, I know. Where have we been?
That
What have
explains
we
the
done?
demographics on this podcast. They break down the demographics. We're great, 25 to 54. We really hit it, but then the largest one is the one that's 54.
Hey, don't forget that commercial, Dale.
I won't. Let me do that really quick. You guys think of something to talk about. Breaks to Go at breaks2go.com. Why should you use Breaks to Go? They come to you and fix your brakes. That's all I really need to say. But we've had every car done in the parking lot, and there's been times when my wife let it go a little far, and the discs were all torn up, and they bring all the parts just in case you need them for your car, and they'll even bring you outside and say, look, here's what's wrong with your brakes, so that they can prove it to you if they need to. But I would trust them with my life. As a matter of fact, they're big supporters of me and big supporters on the radio show, and of course now they have helped us with the podcast. I'm still going to buy that camera at some point. We're going to do a two camera shoot. Unlike today, we're doing a fisheye shoot. But Breaks to Go at breaks2go.com, and I think breaks2go.net will work. I don't know why I needed to tell you that, but there you go. I don't have a phone number. I don't have any copy in front of me, but imagine you don't have to go sit in a waiting room with the 3-year-old Fishers and Hunter magazine. I used to say that much smoother, but I've had a couple of vodkas, so
Fishers and Hunters
Fishers and Hunters.
monthly.
I don't want to read about loaves and fishes. I don't know.
what would it be
I don't
called?
care about Jesus. I want my breaks.
That was actually pretty smooth.
What was that fucking magazine called? Hunting and fishing?
Now I can't think of it.
What? It's
game and
fishing game?
fishing game?
I think that sounds right. Fishing game.
Oh, it had something a little catchier than that.
I don't know. I didn't.
You guys notice there's a homeless dude camping out right there? Back there, he waved at me earlier.
I was so terrible at those when it was a live read. Like Charlie would go, Matt, you got a live read coming up, and I would start panicking. And it was a barbecue seller outfitter,
Well,
and I had to say the phrase, "Your meat has never been so juicy."
Oh, you
I
still
had to say
have
it
the
with a
fucking
straight face.
tattoo left over from the show.
I still do.
Yeah.
I show that on stage. By the way.
Yeah. It is.
Let's see.
What? No.
Let's see how good
the
you
actor is.
Come on.
Yeah, it's from.
Come on.
It's from Silverado, not Silverado.
Oh, come on, buddy. Get
God
those brain
damn
cells
it.
working.
It's
Cook 'em
Val
up.
Kilmer,
It's Val Kilmer.
and when he was playing Doc Holliday.
Yes.
And it says on it, how about them shrimp? He lost a bet. He lost a bet on the radio show and had to get a tattoo on his ass.
Yes.
Oh,
And
no.
it's Val Kilmer from Tombstone.
Yep.
Sure.
The movie
You got
Tombstone.
it. All three.
That took me.
Val
a minute.
Kilmer, Doc Holliday,
Fishing.
Tombstone. What?
Fishing for fun.
What?
Fishing. I'm still trying to remember the name of the.
Fishing for fun.
I'm going to
That's
drive
the name of the magazine.
Game and wildlife and fishing for fun.
So wildlife. That's so game and wildlife. Something that sounds kind of.
I was watching. The collective disappointment is hilarious to watch.
Well, all right. Did we prove anything?
Fish
here?
and wildlife.
I think so.
No.
That might be it, right?
No.
No one look at
not
your
it.
phones.
Oh, Breaks to Go at breakstogo.com.
Breaks to go.
Breaks to go.
And then if you need braces, Dr. Koenig in the domain. We'll
Koenig.
talk about that later
He's
on
good.
at some other time.
Domain.
All right. Well, we don't hate you.
Evidently,
I could do 2 more hours. I could do 3 hours of a podcast.
I could talk
really
to you forever.
could.
I miss you terribly.
Oh, well. Oh, you miss me on the air.
No, I miss you.
Oh. Yeah. I got to sit around for 4 months.
I miss your smell.
And got paid.
I miss your musk.
But then, all right, I got to go check Indeed.com.
You
see
look
what's
good.
going on. I lost some weight. And
You did.
I put
Didn't
10,
he?
I put
He looks
10
great.
I put 10 back on.
Okay.
Yeah.
But with your
I'll
frame,
spot
you can put on
But
10
I'm
and
using-
it's nothing.
I'll spot you.
But I'm using the fucking drugs. But now I can't afford it.
Ozempic.
No, Wegovy, but now I can't afford it. And
Wegovy?
so I can't afford the actual Wegovy. So
Wegovy beef?
we're going
That's
through-
not how you lose
Is that a
weight.
street name?
that we're going through guns and ammo.
Yeah, there you go.
That is a
Well,
magazine.
that's a thing.
Soldier of Fortune.
I'm using a compound pharmacy and it doesn't work as well. I find myself hungry a lot. Manjaro is the best drug of all for it.
Manjaro.
Manjaro. But you can't afford them.
Oh.
They're ridiculous.
See, I'm doing Mexican Adderall.
Are you?
Yeah.
I got real Adderall. I didn't take my meds today. That's what the fuck is wrong with me. I wonder why I'm dragging so much. I got a drug that's really, well, what am I doing right now? I'm trying to do the radio show again, telling everybody about that I haven't taken should I tell you I haven't had a crap in about 6 days?
What?
What?
Yeah.
That's
from
not
the,
good.
That's from the Wegovy.
No. You
No.
can't do
What?
Yeah.
That's not good. 6 days?
Huh?
If I knew that, I wouldn't come in this room with you.
6 days you haven't evacuated?
I
Are you doing it now?
I thought earlier I was getting some cramps, but I don't know. I guess like it's been about 5 days.
Speaking of medical stuff, can I tell you something real quick? I don't know how much time we're working with here.
We don't have, there's no
Okay.
time limit.
I had to have urethroscopy.
Oh, the tuning? Is that what they call it? What is that sounding? You heard of sounding before? It's where a guy takes a metal rod, nay, a tuning fork, and puts it down his urethra.
It was a camera that squirts
Did they-
water and sucks. I know. I've described this to women who went, ugh,
Why'd you have to have that?
because I had blood in my urine, right? Not that I could see, but they were like, yeah, your test came back. You have blood in your urine. You have about as much blood in your urine as you can have before it becomes visible. Because I was like, I don't see any blood. They're like, we know. So they said, we have to rule out bladder cancer and kidney stones. And there's a 94% chance that it's not either of those things. But we have to rule them out. And they had to put this thing in my penis. They had to put it in there. And
Fuck, I'm hard.
you're hard?
Yeah, it was called a joke.
Oh. Okay, it was a weird one. But it squirted water in and sucked it back out. And this was a guy who didn't believe in pain meds.
Oh.
Like the colonoscopy was
What?
no fucking problem at all, right?
What?
Like, I went to sleep,
That's
colonoscopy,
not
they
a big
put
deal.
the camera in.
The night before is the
No
worst thing
fucking
about it.
deal.
Have you done a colonoscopy?
No, Mike, you need to.
How old? You've got to.
Yeah, you need to.
My nephew was only 40, and
Yeah,
and
you can do them when you're 40 now.
My nephew no longer has a butthole.
That's not true.
True.
What do you mean he
had
no longer
cancer?
has a butthole?
He had cancer. They took it all out.
They took his...
He has a colostomy for the rest of his life.
Oh, yeesh.
We can't
Well,
end on that.
That's not going to happen to you, Mike. But you really should get a colonoscopy.
We can do one here on the cheap.
It's the easiest thing in the world. I mean, seriously. Like he said, the only difficult thing is you have to drink this shit the night before. It used to be like a gallon that you had to chug.
Oh,
I just got tested.
Now it's like a 5.
I just got tested for STIs for the first time in my life. I'm behind on everything.
Why did you get tested for that?
Yeah.
I had, someone needed me to.
Mike, where have you been?
What's this weird
What end of
chorus
6th
of
Street are you
whispers?
on, buddy?
Someone was coming to visit, and she's like, I need you to do it, and I'll do it."
What?
I've never done that before. I've never taken one. You know, they ask you your pronouns now.
Yeah.
Don't get it. Don't. You know what? I'm going to sound like a right winger if you start getting into the pronouns. I'm so fucking tired of it. I don't mind calling you a he, she, or him, her.
But during a medical procedure, or
I will
like part
never call a person they. I will never speak about you in the plural.
Well, it is semantically.
You're not a split
clumsy.
personality. You identify.
I understand what you're saying.
But I had to tell you. So I didn't want to do the prep the night before.
Right.
Well,
Because now it's like a 5-hour energy.
It used to have a name. It has a name, and it tastes like bad Gatorade,
Yeah.
like Gatorade that's gone
Yeah.
bad.
It's like cranberry.
I want to say Go Fast, but that's a nickname for speed.
But
Anyway, I went to do the machine. I said, I'm not going through that again. Well, here's the funny thing about the machine. The machine, they have you
what
take.
machine?
I'm going to get to that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
They tell you, I'll just tell you what the machine is. You sit like a spaceman in this fiberglass chair, right? And there's a giant water tank that you can see. And they put a towel over you and they tell you to insert the tube. And you put the tube in.
Yourself?
You put the tube in and it vacuums out your entire colon.
Was this a doctor's office or a party?
No, it's right next to the, off Anderson Lane. It's right
Okay,
next to the
all
place
right.
they do it, right?
Go ahead.
But here's the thing. The night before, they tell you to take 6 Dulcolax. So you're up all night anyway. You're up all night anyway.
Dulcolax?
Yeah, you're up all night anyway. The go lightly. That stuff's called Go Lightly or something like that. You still have the same, you still go through the same pain with the Dulcolax. But it's interesting to sit there, and then the guy says, well, you need to go through 2 tanks of this. And I said, there's a clear tube.
2 tanks?
There's a clear tube where you can see whatever comes out goes up the tube.
What?
Right?
I'm staying at home.
And at some point, I was like, I'm not seeing anything anymore because it's very uncomfortable. It was very uncomfortable. We got to end this podcast on something nicer than this. How do we
Okay.
get out?
No, keep talking about this.
I really
Fish
want
and
to
game.
get back
It was
to
fish
Mike's
and game.
colonoscopy.
Wait, Fish and Game? That was it.
Fish and
No, it's not
game.
fish and game.
Yeah, it
Fish
is.
and wildlife.
Kid and play.
No.
The fat boys. It's easy as hell, but you need to get it done because what they did is they found 4 polyps
Polyps.
that they just zapped. And they were like, you're done. We'll see you in 4 years.
Okay.
But you really need to get it
If you
done.
have polyps, they'll make it 2 or 3.
What's
usually.
up?
If you have polyps, they usually tighten that window a little bit. Not that it matters.
Oh,
We better go. I'm getting a buzz.
okay. But get it done because I want you to live a really long time. Even
Okay.
if you hate me.
I'm so consumed with hatred for Matt Sadler that I deserve to die.
You would have thought
Of
when I
ass
said,
cancer.
hey, I think I'm going to have Sadler on. You would have you would have said, nah, dude, let's not do that. That's a
Yeah,
What
what was my
fucking
response?
asshole.
Oh, cool, great, cool, right?
I think you went, great, cool.
See, I think that is what happened. You're just masking it for my benefit.
We're not. It's good to see you, man.
It's good to see you too, man. I
having
miss you.
on. Mike, thank you very much. We're sorry we ended
Until
with-
next time.
I'm sorry we ended with all the butthole stuff. You know, we'll
And
try
You,
to
you
read
guys
this
are
up.
men of that age, you know.
Yeah. All right. Back to your cruise ship, Mr. Lucky.
Yes.
Mr. Steiner Ranch. Steiner. I live in Steiner. And what are you doing tonight? What are you going to go do?
Baby, I'm going to go to HEB and get some dinner.
Dinner at HEB?
Well, I mean, stuff to make dinner with.
One of those pre-made things you just pop in. It's good.
I might get that for tomorrow. Yeah, and then something else for tonight. I'm very lonely.
All right, Matt Sadler, are you performing anywhere soon?
Not here.
No, on a cruise ship.
Yeah.
What's your favorite ship of their entire?
Fleet?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, we don't need to say the name of the.
Are you on the top of the fleet?
And Mike, you got your show did you say every Thursday?
The last Thursday of every month. If available, Matt Sadler will be on in July. But if not, we do that every the last Thursday of every month at the Oddwood Brewing Company on Manor.
And if I may, thank you, everybody. I suddenly have a lot of listeners, former listeners of the show, or they may still listen to the show, but people who listen to me who have trusted me with their homes, if you can believe that.
Yeah.
And you can always look me up at Realty Austin on the website, or you can go to daledudley.com. I forgot I was paying for that. What a worthless website that I'm paying for. It's got my phone number on there, so you can call me.
It's daledudley.com?
daledudley.com. I probably should just give the phone number out. It's out there. Just go to daledudley.com. Yeah, I don't want to do it for here. Who knows?
I got mattsadler.com. Do you have Mike MacRae?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not much on there.
Yeah, mine neither.
Yeah, mine's.
But it's mine. It's mine.
I own it.
Yeah, mine's not updated or anything, but it just gives you a way to contact me. It's Dale Dudley at realtyaustin.com. There you go. So far, I haven't heard from any of the haters. They got great filters, though. I think they have some amazing filters. Don't write fucker shit, and you'll get through to me. But I'd love to help you out and getting better and better at it. And I've had some great experiences with some people. And somebody put me on the air somewhere. I don't know. I'll drive to New Braunfels or something like that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you later.
Thanks
Y'all
for
have fun.
having me, Dan.
Thanks, Matt.